Hey everyone, it's Caitlin. Welcome back to my channel where I post easy, accessible, and delicious vegan recipes. If that sounds interesting to you, make sure to hit that little subscribe button right down there if you want to see more. Today we are talking jalapenos and we're going to be using them in 4 different ways. I feel like jalapenos are kind of an underrated ingredient, at least in cooking in the United States. Obviously in other countries they're used more widely, but I really don't see a lot of USA recipes using them. So I want to make sure you use these guys because they are delicious. They are usually pretty affordable at the grocery store if you don't grow them in your own garden. And whether or not you like spicy food, you can still enjoy these as long as you remove the seeds from the center of the pepper. So I'm going to be showing you 4 different ways to use them. Some they're more of the star of the dish, some where they're more of an accompaniment, but they are for everyone, okay? We got easy to more advanced recipe levels here, and I guarantee there's going to be at least one recipe that you enjoy. So let's get into it.
First up, we're going to be making some quick pickled jalapenos. This quick pickle method can be used with any veggie, but jalapenos are super cheap at the grocery store, or if you grow them in your garden, this is the way to go to use up those extras. So first things first, we're going to use a mandolin to slice all of our jalapenos into thin slices, and then we're going to place them in a jar. I kept most of my seeds in because I like it spicy, but if you want them less spicy, you can remove some of the seeds. Then we're also going to add in some garlic cloves and sliced carrot. These are optional, but I find that they really help to deepen the flavor of the recipe. Then we're going to set this aside and work on our pickling liquid. So for our pickling liquid, we're going to be using equal parts white vinegar and water. Then we'll add in some sugar and some salt and then whisk that together until they're sort of dissolved. And then we'll bring this mixture to a boil. And then once the sugar and salt become finely dissolved, we'll take that off of the heat and then pour it into the jar. And then we're going to let this sit for about 10 minutes or so. And as you can see here, the pickles change color from a light green color to a darker green color. And then they're ready to enjoy on anything and everything, such as this TexMex black bean salad. This recipe is literally dumping things together and mixing them, so it's the perfect weekday lunch. We're going to add some black beans, grape tomatoes, some fresh corn, a chopped bell pepper, and our pickled jalapenos to a bowl, along with some red onion and cilantro, and then olive oil, lime juice, and some spices. I'm using cumin, chili powder, and a pinch of salt. So then you're just going to mix everything together. You can serve this immediately. The flavors do taste better if you let it sit for at least 15 minutes just so everything can mingle, but it's really great on the next day too. This recipe is really satisfying, it's pretty budget friendly too, and I just think it's a great summer lunch. Next up, we're going to make some Jalapeno Popper pasta bake. This is a really creamy and delicious recipe, and first off, we're going to start by cooking our pasta on the stovetop until it reaches an al dente temperature. Make sure you salt your pasta water. Then in a large casserole dish, we're going to add that cooked pasta to it, along with some diced jalapenos, some fresh corn, some chopped red onion, notice a similar theme here, and then we're going to add in some vegan cream cheese, plus some garlic powder and a little bit of smoked paprika, and then can't forget the salt. Then we're going to add in some non-dairy milk and mix everything together until it's nice and creamy and evenly incorporated. I use store-bought cream cheese for this recipe, but stay tuned for the next recipe and I'll show you another non-store-bought alternative that you can use too. Now here, we want it to be cheesy. Jalapeno poppers are cheesy, so I'm topping it with some dairy-free vegan mozzarella cheese, and then we're going to cover this and bake it in the oven for a few minutes, and then we're going to uncover and bake a little bit more, but this is the final result. The cheese should be nice and melty. You can get some brown edges, and here I'm topping it with some sliced jalapenos, and then it's ready to serve. I love this. It's so creamy and satisfying, and it's there's still vegetables in it, like jalapenos and corn, so, It's a well-balanced meal in my opinion. And then I'm just topping it here with some jalapeno and cilantro, and then you can dig in and enjoy. And then last but certainly not least, we made jalapeno popper pasta bake, so now we definitely have to make some vegan jalapeno poppers. So first up, you're going to need about 8 to 12 jalapenos for this recipe. You're going to take a knife and slice the jalapeno in half, and then use a spoon or your hands to scoop out the seeds. If you are sensitive to heat, it's probably a better idea just to wear gloves anyways, because the oil can stick on your hands later and burn. But this is what it should look like. And then you're going to repeat the process with the rest of the peppers. I like to leave mine partially attached, as you can kind of see there, so that way they're easier to close later. Next up, we'll move on to the filling. So this is my vegan cream cheese alternative. We're going to be using some firm tofu, along with some soaked cashews, some garlic, lemon juice, and salt, and then we'll just blend this all together. This is a similar recipe to my vegan ricotta, but this has more of a cream cheese consistency and flavor to it. So we'll set that aside and then work on the wet batter. We're going to be using some all-purpose gluten-free flour, some nutritional yeast, smoked paprika, and salt, and non-dairy milk of your choice. I'm using soy milk. And then you're going to whisk that all together until you get a nice thick batter. And then we're also going to be using a dry batter. I'm doing a gluten-free take on breadcrumbs, so we're going to be using some medium grind cornmeal and almond flour with just a pinch of salt. So whisk that together. The cornmeal is going to get nice and crispy, and the almond flour will help things stay buttery and also get a little more brown on the outside. So we've made all of our components and now it's assembly time. Starting with our cream cheese filling, we are going to stuff every single pepper. So I just like to take a spoon, and the filling is loose enough where you can sort of spread it out lengthwise along the pepper and then seal it shut. And the volume of the cream cheese in it should help to seal the pepper. So you're just going to continue to repeat this with all of your peppers. And now we move on to our dunking station. So I recommend using 2 separate hands, and I actually take half of the dry mix out and add it in later so that way it doesn't get too wet. But here I'm adding the jalapeno to the wet batter, and I'm using a spoon to sort of make sure you get an even coating of batter all around. And then we transfer it to the dry, and you can use your spoon or your hands to sort of toss it in the batter so you get a nice light sort of breaded coating. And then you're going to repeat this with all of the peppers and transfer them to a baking tray. And then at this point you can spray it if you'd like with nonstick cooking spray. I find that this helps them brown more in the oven. You don't have to, but I kind of recommend it for a better looking and tasting final product. So now we're going to put these in the oven until they're nice and browned on top, and then that's pretty much it. You're ready to serve and enjoy. You can take them off, plate them on a plate, serve them up. I think these make such a fun party appetizer or like entertaining snack, like for game day, or you're just like, I don't know, are they picnic food? I would eat them on a picnic, but they're so good and delicious, and that vegan cream cheese filling just melts in your mouth when you bite into it.
Maya, go away. All right, guys, and there you have it. Let me know which one of these recipes was your favorite in the comments below. I feel like I'm just like, is there a pocket in this shirt? Oh, no. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. I personally hope that you love or at least appreciate jalapenos more after watching this. And maybe, you know, check out the recipes on my blog. They'll all be linked down below if you want to save them on Pinterest for later, or just look at them and maybe get some own recipe inspiration for yourself. I'm gonna set these down. I feel like it's getting a little crazy in here. But yeah, I think the great thing about jalapenos is, at least in the US where I live, is even if it's not summertime, they're pretty much available year round in the grocery store. And I would bet that if you lived in an area with a higher Mexican or Latin American or Hispanic, more Latin American community, they would be in the grocery store as well. So don't forget about jalapenos. Make sure to include them in some of your recipes. Those pickled jalapenos go on just about anything. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. Again, make sure you subscribe if you want more. Leave a comment down below if you have any other video suggestions. Oh, actually I was gonna say leave a comment down below. And if you can accurately guess how many jalapenos I used in this recipe video, you will get a gold star in my love forever, or something like that. Okay, that's it. Hope you're well, hope you're taking care of yourself, drink plenty of water, eating some spicy food every now and again. And yeah, I hope to virtually see you in the next video. Bye. That was lame, but whatever.